In this video, we're going to look at a couple other ways to process a two-dimensional array. I changed the generation from user input to initializing an array with random values. So let's take a look at this. We have the same array. It's called matrix. Since I'm not having to manually input the values, I made it 5 columns by 5 rows by 7 columns. Made it a little bit bigger since I don't have to manually put them in anymore. Nested for loops. The first for loop is counting through the rows. The inside for loop is counting through the columns. And for each item in each row and column, as the loop processes, we are going to pick a random number from 0 to 9 using math.random. We're going to change that to an int, or force it into an int, and store it in our matrix. Okay, once our matrix is done, we're going to print it out just like we did in the previous video. And then finally, we're going to print the total of all the elements in the array by using a method that I created called SumArray. SumArray's purpose is to accept a two-dimensional array, and let's go look at it. So SumArray will accept as an argument a two-dimensional array. It'll store it in its parameter called array of ints, and it's going to return to us an integer. Okay, and SumArray just works very much like we did in single-dimensional arrays. We're going to create an accumulator variable. So this variable is an accumulator, and again, it's a two-dimensional array, so we're processing the rows and the columns using nested for loops. And for each item in each row and column, we are going to add that to the total. And once these two for loops run, we'll have the total, which will get returned back to our calling statement, which is actually printing out the results. So let's go ahead and run this and see how it works. So here's my array. It's got 5 rows and 6 columns. Okay. Print array printed them out. SumArray went through and took item 0, 0, item 0, 1, item 02, item 03, item 04, item 05, item 06. Then I went to the next row and added in item 10, item 11, item 12, and so on and so forth. Got the 150, returned it back to its calling method right here, where it was printed out to the screen. The total of all the elements in the array is, in this case, 150. We run it this time, it's 167. When we run it this time, it's 140. All right, so that's a demonstration of initializing an array with random numbers and adding up all the elements in an array. Again, processing, as we always do with two-dimensional arrays, with nested for loops.